Hey guys, just popping on real quick. I am live on Clubhouse, live on Facebook, and lovely to be here with you. So, I wanted to just pop in, and it is just a short little mindful challenge. And I think so many of us creators, we can get stuck up, late at night and this endless scouring of the internet and looking at all the courses and figuring out how much sunk time and cost that we have on just wanting to really bridge the gap between our vision or our business. It would just scale. And I totally get it. And you may not be sure of what to change up or what to invest in, or quite frankly, what to ditch to really get to that next level in your goals. Now, the old saying of this, what you got you here just definitely won't get you there, is absolutely true. And as a 22-year salon and spa owner and a hybrid entrepreneur, if you provide an incredible service, my friends, something that people will be happy to pay for, then there's no reason. I'm here to tell you right now, there is no reason not to reach your goals whatsoever. I'm just going to make sure I've got my right mic on, which I do. And so I just wanted to kind of do just a quick mindful reframe of how much compound interest can make a difference in our life and our business, not only financially, but also emotionally. And so, as I noted, if you provide an incredible service that people will pay for, you can hit those six figures. And I want to give you a simple focus for the next 3 weeks. If you don't have a business, if you haven't been able to bridge that gap yet and being able to scale that compound interest on just making an income in your bank, right? And it's incredibly simple and it's a challenge for you. And it's going to be to do this: find an area in your business or an area in your life that you can save money, right? So, where you can save or earn in your life or business just $100, just $100 a week, $100 a week. And actually, before I go into this formula, I'm going to share a cold hard fact. Now, the percentage of female taxpayers under the age of 50 years old who make $100,000, I should say, per year is just 6%. Six freaking percent. Now, women do over 60% of the world's labor, right? And they only receive 10% of that income. And it's probably not shocking to all this women hardworking that, we're earning and working 3 times more, right? But we are likely unpaid care providers and sharing a lot of different responsibilities. So I just want to throw that out there that, as a woman, as a hybrid entrepreneur, I am on a mission for women to more easily and more gracefully bridge into their vision and actually do it their way and make it happen, to enjoy ways of marketing, to enjoy what you are actually planting as a seed, to bridge to that income that you desire, to have the freedom that you desire, right? So back to the $100 per week. I am in a Web3, meaning metaverse, NFTs, crypto, all these different aspects of how we're now going to be building our businesses in the new, let's just call it Society 5.0. I talk about the Entrepreneur 4.0 to the Entrepreneur 5.0. And it's almost equivalent to taking a car to equivalent taking a rocket ship. It's a very, very different speed. And, we're all a bunch of invested creators fostering our dreams together, really seeing what is coming of the future and how we can get there and bridge those more quickly. And we're really at this forefront of building these different businesses to support the ecosystem that puts it back into the creator and the entrepreneur's hands and not the platform. The device that you're likely looking at this on probably has a short change of you either just came from Instagram or you're watching this on Facebook, YouTube. You're on a platform where individuals own your data, they own your information. And so creators that are in these ecosystems are about taking it back and putting it into the creators' hands where they own their ecosystem and shortchanging and taking all of those middlemen out, as well as building a business on somebody else's algorithm. So we're really, again, at this forefront of building these different kinds of businesses, which are just incredible financial freedom. And those goals don't necessarily need massive sales to achieve that. So going back to that $100, let me give you a challenge around creating an extra just $100 per profit a week. So if you look at all the different ways that you could use $100, whether you want to pay down your debt, whether you want to invest in shares, whether you want to invest in your business, build your savings, any of it, it's all good, all applicable. Now, quick disclaimer. We are approaching this with super, super, super simple math. And of course, you're going to need to pay tax on that $100 profit, right? So it's probably more likely that it would round up to be, 100, you need to save or invest $130, right? For tax purposes. But I'm not going to complicate things. So if you had a mortgage, this is where it breaks down. I titled the video, One Challenge to Compound 600K. So if you have a mortgage of $600,000 and the interest rate is 3.5%, and you took an extra $100 per week and applied that to your mortgage, you would pay your home off in 6 years and 28 weeks earlier. Let me repeat that. You would pay your home off in 6 years and 28 weeks earlier. And you'd save yourself around $90,000 in interest. Yes, with just an extra $100 per week. 6 years and 28 weeks earlier, my friends. That's huge. And $90,000 is huge. It's in interest, but that's massive. And if you've invested $100 per week into perhaps like a portfolio, or you had invested in some kind of crypto exchange or whatever that was, and you had an average rate of just 8% return for the next 30 years, you would create $620,000 and add that to your retirement. So here's the most amazing part of all that. You'd be investing around $160,000. And with that compound interest, you'd actually end up 4 times that amount. So it's amazing if we really compute all the little things that we spend our money on, that we worry about financially. I know I've always had a lot of different money fears that were inbred. I mean, our parents, especially if you're midlife, came from 1929 era. And so we have these different fragments that are stored in our superconscious and our consciousness. And so this next wave of where we're going in society is moving very, very, very fast. But I also wanted to get it grounded in, if you just were to think about where could I save or earn more, $100. It's easily a haircut for me, or saving in something I don't need to spend my money on. ADHD, I like Amazon Prime, right? Now, I have to be honest, I've been totally jamming out in some of these different fluctuations on different areas that I could store in portfolio. And one that I've been doing with 2 of my friends is in precious metals, and really looking at the potential of the long-term compound effect in precious metals, silver, gold, rarity coins, collector coins, and how incredibly potential it is. I'm not a financial advisor and I'm not giving you advice, that if you keep your compounding interest long term into these kind of investments And especially in a time in inflation like this, it is very, very positive on your end if you actually are just mindful about where you're putting your money. Now, the next piece is then what are some tips? So let's say you're an entrepreneur to make some of these things happen. Now, I have a lot of things going on, and so do you. And so many, and I'm going to call it for what it is, entrepreneurs, visionaries, creatives, they bring their unconscious trauma into their business and they don't even know it. And then before you know it, you join a mastermind and or a coaching program. And the coach tells you that you got to clean up your mindset. Only you go and try to clean up your mindset. You're trying to clean up your mindset. You've done all the things, you've downloaded all the PDFs. There's some really, really deep resonance there. And that's what I help entrepreneurs with. That does not mean, as a clinical hypnotherapist, I am going to make you go and spend 3 weeks digging up the ghost in your closet or trying to find your child inside yourself, your inner kiddo, right? It doesn't need to involve all of that. But if we don't clear that resonance, that energetic resonance, it's going to keep pulling that tension back, pulling you back from not only seeing it, but actually being able to allow that goo to kind of unlash itself so that you can move towards your goal. So, 3 things I'm going to share. And the number one thing is most entrepreneurs, most people that are really, really dead set on self improvement and bettering themselves, they go and work on things that they're bad at. They go and make themselves feel guilty that they don't know how to do something. And so they spend all of this energy, all of these mental calories on trying to fix themselves, trying to fix their business. When in actuality, you should be focusing on your strengths. Now, 100%, society has brainwashed us to work on our weaknesses. And just like everybody else, here's the truth, my friend. We know Twitter. We know what's going on with Twitter. Do you think that Elon Musk didn't, or I should say, do you think he made his billions, the B, like a big B, his billions by being really punctual? Do you think Elon Musk became a billionaire by managing people really well? Elon Musk doesn't manage people. I'm highly probable that he has some kind of neurodiverse gift, what have you, for seeing really big pictures. And he has really, really smart people around him. Many leaders do. Steve Jobs, right? He didn't turn Apple into a $1 billion company by also managing people. I think we all know a lot of his story, where he certainly was not a socialite, to say the least, right? And then you've got Jeff Bezos, didn't become a world's richest man by being really, really great at marketing. Not at all. Hired people for that, right? So if you're not catching the drift, these entrepreneurs have doubled down on their uniqueness. And once you double down on your special gifts, what you love doing just because you love it, that's your natural genius. It actually is instinctive to you. And when you double down on yours, you can actually start to prioritize where you can find your different leverage points within your business and your life and what energizes you. Now, focus on, this is my point, focus on the things that you really, really love doing, things that you're really awesome at, and take the time to really do a soft meditation, or I love going on a walk, and just really foster all of those feelings and what that may be attached to. Your life leaves clues. And so find those clues. Now, the question then becomes, well, I've got to do all these things to get done in my business, as we all do. And so, how do you deal with the weaknesses? I'm going to tell you how. It is essential. It is the number one thing that will help you make your dreams a reality. And I even hate saying that because I think it's like, oh, live your wildest dreams. Like, what is that? Be happy. And, it's kind of like I help busy women become happy, busy women. Awesome. If I could do that, awesome, right? But the number one thing is to build support around you. Build support around you. Hire people. So instead of dealing with all the headaches, building a long term business without a long term team, we have to be able to fill in those gaps. And if you're not good at managing people, then we hire a manager. If you can't stand bookkeeping, hire a bookkeeper. If you're tired of putting out fires, grab one of the Life and Bloom Solutions garden hoses. I can help you with that, right? But here's the thing, I spend a lot of time managing different VAs. I have hired a lot of VAs that did not work out. I have two VAs right now that I'm constantly having to manage and bring them up to speed. But in my acuity of helping them be on point, it forces me to be more on point in my business. And over the long run, when you find the right support, trying and making sure that you're just shifting and moving, and I have a process that you can find the right support, like lickety splat spit fast. It's worth it over the long haul. So when you have the right people, those tasks don't drain you, right? Because they're in their uniqueness and you get to be in your uniqueness. And everybody looks at the North Star or the big lighthouse goal. I call that the water energy. And everybody's happy because they understand the goal and we're all moving towards it, but everybody's in their unique space, right? It's like putting roller skates on and allowing your subconscious to start to see that you don't have to do all those hard things. That you don't have to keep beating yourself up of why you're not good at something. And your subconscious will start to slow down and stop informing you, right? So then what is the ticket to being able to maintain the consistency? Now, I say that it's partly community and partly a blueprint, right? And so here's a huge fact that I want you to take in 89% of what you pick up from freebies, PDFs, uh, courses, cheap courses, coaches is not right for you. 89%. It will keep you stuck in the mud. Now, within the Life and Bloom Solutions, I bring my clients through something called the Flow R Wealth Accelerator. And it's tied to the I Ching, which is the Chinese Book of Life. And the I Ching is then originated and brought forth into modern society by Carl Jung. And Carl Jung is the creator of pretty much most of any personality test, is the origin of it. But what I love about what this test and over 500,000 entrepreneurs have gone through is that it is unique to entrepreneurship. And it takes the four different seasons, right? Spring, summer, fall, winter. It gives you your element, which I call your frequency. It is your natural genius of what fuels your business, fuels your dream, fuels your vision. And then it gives you your one path, which there are 8, to wealth. And then it gives you the 2 key people that you need to hire on your team or eventually look for. Doesn't need to be someone you hire, could just be moral support so that you have that web. And I think about a web in a business where you have even Chinese medicine. I do biofeedback and we do neurocohesion. Yes, it's super neurosciencey, but we bring in the Chinese elements because if I know where your balance is, right? So if we have metal and we have fire, we have those 5 stars. And so we can see what's under energy and what's over energy. And we can go to the triangle and figure out where the leverage points are energetically. Same is true for business. If you're a strong wood and a spring like myself, I sure the hell don't need a ton of summer to fuel my, you know, my wood and my spring and hang it over here. And we're just a bunch of creators. I really need to move over and I need to find a trader. And I also need to find someone that computes numbers really well. So they can slow down my fast brain, slow down my project, and actually start to, okay, now let's pull it apart. Now let's get it in front of more people. And now let's start to slow it down and create a system out of the creation. And then I go and create something more, but I'm not the completer of everything, right? So it's really important for me to know that. And it's really important for you to know that, especially if you're a Web3 in Web3 communities, because I see so many NFT projects and Web3 and coin creators, where a lot of creatives are all in the same space. They all get together and they create a project. They go really, really, really fast and they burn out really, really, really fast. Or they do a pump and dump, get all this love around their project. And once it's over, everybody's exhausted and it deflates. I'm involved in 3 projects right now, and every single one of those projects are on that same path. I'm stepping in to try to explain it, communicate it, not be pushy, but it is truly, truly essential to really take advantage of. If you want more information to the Flow Our Wealth Accelerator, I'd be happy to have you join it. It is self-learning and then partly coaching. And it's something I'm going to have in my tokenized coin community, which is called the Life and Bloom Guild. You can get access to that. Please reach out. I'd be happy. Oh, so happy to share it with you. And then the other piece that I share, especially in the Life and Bloom Guild and with community, is the emotional EQ, right? So emotionally intelligent women. And through that, how do we get to that is through what I call neuro meditations. And so monthly, we pop up resistance in different experiences through group clinical hypnotherapy sessions that are actually really, really fun and really a delight. And we pop up the resistance and we clear it out of the way. And we just continue to move the nervous system and the mind and the subconscious mind so that you can bridge all those gaps. It's called the triune mind, right? You've got your super conscious mind, your conscious mind, and your subconscious mind. Your super conscious mind is attached to the entanglement of the energy and consciousness around you at all times, right? Picks up everything. It is not emotional. Your conscious mind, 5%, I say 2%, but about 5%, you're conscious. And most of what's running your ship is your subconscious, which is mostly negative and stuck in the past and holding an energetic, compounded energy that is quite dense in your field that in these neuro meditations, we start to kind of break it up a little bit. And when you are in a group experiment, right, it is fun because Lynn McTaggart has broken down the science. Gary Flint has proven the science. And Joe Dispenza and many other brilliant human beings, I stand on the shoulders of many giants, have all clarified and proficiently proven that when you are with a group of people with a good intention, the compound interest going back to just $100 a day can save you up to $90,000 in compound interest just 24 years later, is that you accelerate time and you also compound the amplification of healing and the subconscious to get on board a lot faster. And that's why I no longer do one-on-one work. I do group facilitation. So putting it all together, when you have the precise one elemental frequency, meaning your instinctual energy, what gives you energy, you apply it to your one path to wealth, which there are 8. And you take that, what I started with is when you create value in the market, this is where wealth times value equals leverage. So what is leverage? Leverage is going to be your key component of what I talked about when you get a team. If you have the right team in the right seat, just even when you're starting, just to start getting your momentum, your leverage is actually what raises that riverbed. So all of that velocity of money just starts flushing through. I talk about society or the entrepreneur 4.0 or 5.0. you can either do two things. You can stand on the side of this new frontier of how business is going to be done. And after the shift, the great reset, the great reinvention of your business, the great reignition of your business, number one, starts with you believing in you. Number two, having a clear vision. And number three, taking massive damn action, is to create the leverage, is to be able to find the right support to stay in your genius and to have the right market, right fit of creating an incredible, valuable service to other people so that they can make money faster, that they can have more time and freedom, and they can love the relationship with their business and no longer bring their baggage into their business or their past relationship attachment styles into their business. We clean all that up. You'd be amazed at how much faster you can move. You'd be amazed at how much more joy you can have in your business versus feeling like your business has traumatized you. So those are the different leverage points. It's the one challenge. One, if you want to save or make just $100 more per week, you could compound that interest big time. And the other piece was find the right support. If you want to learn more about the Flow Our Wealth Accelerator, if you want to learn more about how to participate in my community in the future, it's transitioning from being a coin holder. And when you hold coins, it is like basically perks. Consider it loyalty points. And you just open up everything within our offers. You can hop on group hypnotherapy sessions to really work with the subconscious and clean that up. We can work with the Flow Our Wealth Accelerator, making sure that you're finding the right components and the right partners in your business. And then we get really, really clear on what are the most astute, forward things that innovation is bringing right now in your business. For instance, for me right now is group hypnotherapy in AR, VR, and XR. That doesn't require you to have an Oculus. It doesn't require you to go spend more money on Zuck bucks, right? But to really step into a 360 ecosystem of nature, which absolutely we know from forest bathing allows the nervous system to just calm right in. It allows you to sink into that experience, to get down into the subconscious and create that effect, that quantum effect, much faster, much more enjoyable. And it's mind blowing. The experience is absolutely awesome. So, how can you start to think about Web3? How can you start thinking about how you're going to create community around your business? Because community in the future is 100% gold and is the number one way we will move forward. And the first place to do that is to start by joining a community that sees these things coming and gives you the right tools and the right information to be able to collapse that time. It's really about the ecosystem. And that's why the Life in Bloom coin and the tokenized community will be called the Growth Guild, right? It's the Bloom coin that gives you access to the Growth Guild. It is your guild and it is reliant on everybody's wisdom in that community because you can no longer do business in a silo. You can no longer be on Lone Wolf Island. You have to get off Lone Wolf Island and here to bridge you and take your hand off Lone Wolf Island and get the emotional, the subconscious. And I'm not going to tell you it's mindset work because it really, truly is talking about the things that no other coaches will and just throwing a bunch of different copy and paste things at you. And you leave another coaching program and you're like, yep, seen that before. And you actually feel more traumatized. I know I've been there. And I would never want to put that on anybody. So you really come in and you start to just uniquely and question the different challenges in your business and where maybe your other outside personal trauma may be just becoming into your business. And we clean that up super fast. And then we just keep on working on that and compounding your resonance and your coherence interest. And then also stepping into compound interest with your money and how you're going to make it in and post this great reinvention and the great reset, which I believe is coming. It's already happening. And I'm going to promise you one thing. After all of this is over and we do hit that reset, it's going to take some time, but we are going to live in the most abundant world. We are going to live in the most abundant ecosystem, just like the guild, where we actually start to look at capitalism again, where we actually start really building back into our communities and putting money into people and not platforms. So it's moving from hierarchy top down to heterarchy, establishment, equal exchange of value to both partners is what true capitalism is. So, what you're seeing right now is a robust reinvention. Some of these companies are going to fail. Web3 is going to be absolutely going to be looked at through specs of being able to manage it through probably sectors of government. I'm not going to go into that right now, but bringing it back home, Life and Bloom Solutions, you can join and or get on the waiting list for the first founders of the Bloom coin, which will give you access to the 360 incredible experiences in clinical hypnotherapy applied to your business to give you a goal to focus on, not just coming into hypnotherapy to just, I'm not going to say it. Too many, I will say it. Too many personal development and coaches. We always want to go back to fixing our past. The fastest way forward is to understand there is no such thing as the past. It's what we bring into the present and then project into our future. That is from the past, that's actually creating the tension pulling us back versus creating the vision in those group hypnotherapy sessions that we can work through that, right? Because we have to clear that energy and then we quickly start to focus on what we're creating. We got to get there. So, with that said, all my love, all my light, remember you need emotional support. You need systems that are easy so you can play smarter, not harder, my friends. We need to remove all the chaos. And if you have an ADHD, really fast brain like mine, um, you know, you need some people to slow you down. So, anyways, all my love, all my light. Hope you enjoyed this live. Hope you enjoyed the Clubhouse room. If you are in Clubhouse, you should be. It's awesome. If you're not, I should say. And there you go. Well, see you guys on another stream. May the force be with you. And I hope that you, in the future, become a part of the Life and Bloom Guild where you can get your Bloom coin. All my love, all my light.